Welcome. I'm Adam Miller, a consultant with the Art of Applying and a graduate of the University of Virginia's Darden School of Business. Today we've got a question from our Q&A vault about the Forte Foundation and its fellowships. So let's take a look at what our client asked our consulting team.
Hey there, you're watching Ask the Art of Applying. In this series, admissions experts on our team answer real questions from our clients who are navigating the grad school application process. Watch this series to gain perspective and get real expert answers to your most pressing application questions. And if you're interested in learning more about the expert advice, editing, and guidance we provide for the grad school application process, watch the free training in the link below in the description. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more application success stories, application tips, advice, and encouragement. Enjoy the video.
They write in and say, what is the proper etiquette to express your interest to the admissions committee in the Forte Fellowship? So before we go on, let me just really quickly say that the Forte Fellowship is for women who have done great work in helping women and want to continue doing so throughout their lives and their career. So I personally was not a part of this organization, obviously, but the two main awesome benefits are oftentimes schools will throw scholarship money at you as part of being a Forte Fellow. And the other thing is access to other amazing women and just resources in general to do some early recruiting, to go to some webinars, to meet other like-minded individuals who understand the importance of gender diversity. And it is very highly regarded in the MBA application circles. So let's see what it is that they're really interested in terms of joining this organization and getting those benefits. They say that they are aware that the fellowship selection is based in part on an applicant's commitment to the advancement of women, but is there any way to perhaps move the proverbial needle in favor by mentioning your interest in the fellowship? Perhaps if this commitment is riddled throughout your application already. So basically, how much do you need to stress that you want to be a Forte Fellow to these schools, or will they just be able to tell based on your essays and your resume and your letters of recommendation and your interview? Basically, how much are they going to be able to just tell that they should give you this thing? Or should you be explicit about asking for it? So we've got two answers in the vault here from our consultants. The first one says, I think if you're already providing examples of your commitment to the advancement of women, then you are doing the best you can to signal to the admissions committee that you'd like to be considered for the Forte Fellowship. And that's partially right. That's probably, if I had to guess, how most folks end up becoming Forte Fellows. Is the application just oozes, at least some part of the application is clear that you care about the advancement of other women. And of course, you can actually sign up. As far as I know, you can kind of like sign up through their website to show that you are already watching some of their webinars and getting some of their newsletters, and that this is an organization you'd like to be a part of by visiting Forte's website. So they'll kind of know that you're interested, and they can tell that, oh man, this might be somebody that we should consider naming a Forte Fellow. Consultant finishes her response by saying, do any of your schools ask on the application if you want to be considered for certain scholarships like Forte? Now, again, I'm not a female, so I'm not actually sure whether or not that happens from a woman's perspective, but I don't think it does. I think it's all just one same application, and there's no box to check to say that you want to be considered for it, at least when I applied a couple of years ago. So you're going to have to make it more explicit to them if you really want to make sure that they know you're interested. So she says, if this is an option somehow, I'm thinking you've probably already checked that little box on the application, which would be another way to signal that you might want to do so. And our founder and CEO, Kanisha, weighs in and says, let me provide a little bit different of a perspective. First, make sure you look at which schools are Forte sponsors. That will ensure that you're not wasting time by saying, name me a Forte Fellow if they're not a member of Forte. They're probably not going to do that. The good news is that almost all of the top business schools are a part of Forte. When I clicked on this link that Kanisha linked to right here, it has 50, 75 plus, it looks like, schools that are part of Forte. So, skim really quick and make sure you find the 5 to 10 schools that you're applying to are a part of it. If you want to put that in your application somewhere, as well as, reaching out later on if you feel like you should have been awarded it, but you weren't initially upon being admitted. But you should be pretty confident most top business schools believe in Forte's mission. And so Kanisha goes on to say, for those schools that are part of Forte, indicate in your optional essay that you'd like to be considered for a Forte Fellowship. Just come right out and say it in that additional info essay. You could say something like, quote, I know that X school is a Forte sponsor school and supports the advancement of women in business. I would be honored to be considered for the Forte Fellowship. She finishes her comments by saying that she actually reached out to the Harvard General Scholarships Committee when she was applying to HBS and the Harvard Kennedy School, because that's where she ended up going, to indicate her eligibility and interest in a few scholarships that she was really excited about. And she got one of them. So in general, our advice here is to search far and wide for things that make sense based on your interests and your background, for scholarships, for any kind of funding that you can get your hands on, fellowships, grants, whatever you want to call them. And then we'll help you figure out which ones make the most sense, so you're not spreading yourself too thin and you're not setting yourself up for things that are not realistic. But in general, you should find those things and then ask for them. And if you don't get all of the things that you want when you get admitted to a school, ask for additional money. And it might not even be specific to a particular, foundation or organization or something even on the website. If you just make the case sometimes for why you deserve to get additional monies, the schools oftentimes really want you to go and will throw a little bit your way. So hopefully you found this video informative and a little bit entertaining. And if you want any help getting in or finishing up your negotiations with your dream school, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at theartofapplying.com.